work. So we are having our guest speaker. If you want your systems to be designed in the way that they save time, they increase on the incomes of the business, or generate more revenue for the business, you are in the right place. And if you are building an empire and wants it to feel like home, Zuria, Zuria is a call. After, and if you want to implement AI in your business, but don't know how or where to start, a call is on Zuria. Please join me to welcome our guest speaker tonight, Zuria Naganja. You are most welcome. Over to you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. I hope you all hear me. Do you hear me, everyone? You could just drop something in the chat so that I can confirm that I'm clear. Okay, someone said yes. I can hear you. Okay. Okay, sorry. So hi everybody. Welcome to this session. Thank you very much to Coach Samuel and to Silas for having me and for inviting me to speak to all of you today. If you don't mind, please kindly drop where you are right now in the chat. If you're driving, if you're in traffic, if you're home, if you're just drop where you are in the chat. Someone is saying echo. Do you still hear an echo? I'm home. Diana says I'm home. Hi, Diana. Good to see you. Guys, can we see some vibe, eh? Huh? Drop something in the chat. So Alex is at home in Nairobi, Kenya. Nice to see you. Karibu, Uganda, Alex. Karibu. Anyone else, guys? Please, I'd love this session to be as interactive as possible. Stephen is saying home. I like that people are saying home. That's really good. Jovan is at home in Chanja. How is Chanja? I didn't have power all day. I hope you guys had power there. I'm at my office in Kapeka, Nakaseke. Oh, that's really good, Charles. Good to see you. I'm Susie from Cameroon. Hi. Nice. Good to see you, Susie. Hope I pronounced that right. Cobel Emmanuel Victor says I'm home in Nalia. That's really good, everybody. But I'm seeing 19 people or 18 people on here, and I'm seeing about only 5 people in the comment section. Guys, this session is going to be a bit different. I don't know how you usually do it. I see someone, I'm home from West Nile. Yes, West Nile in the house. I'd like to, yes, I see Cyrus with, I'm not sure, that looks like a Gen Z sign. I'm not sure what that means, but home in Mutukula. Oh, good to see you, Asimwe. So everyone, my name is Zuria Nagadia Karama. I'm a lawyer turned AI automation and personal branding strategist. And I'm excited to have this session with you. But especially, I would want for this to be as interactive as possible. So by show of hands, you could just maybe drop an emoji in the chat. How many of us know anything about artificial intelligence? And what do you know about AI? Do you know anything? Do you use any AI tool? Or at least by show of hands, who uses ChatGPT? And if you use it, please open it. Does anyone here open ChatGPT? Use ChatGPT? I do. Alex says I do. Anyone else use ChatGPT? I need to know this at the beginning because ChatGPT is literally the foundation of everything. I use Copilot. Copilot is really good. Copilot is good. I just hear of it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Charles. I do use ChatGPT. Great, great. I don't know. Okay, in the meantime, as we start, if you don't use ChatGPT, it would be very helpful for us to have it during this session. So please just go to Google. Good. You use Monica? I don't know Monica. Well, there are so many LLMs right now. I use ChatGPT, Notebook LLM, and Gemini. Steven, you're the guy. You're the man. That's really great. Gemini, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, great. Great. So we're not necessarily starting too much from start. Someone is saying Perplex. There's Perplexity. Yes, Perplexity is really good. I use HeyGen. Nice, Jovan. Nice. HeyGen is really good for video creation. So in the meantime, if you don't have ChatGPT, could someone kindly drop the link to get ChatGPT in the chat? Does anyone have it for people who don't have it so they can open it up? Maybe let me find it for you. And if you didn't know, actually, ChatGPT released a new model today. So we're in great waters. Let me see, great ChatGPT. Okay. I'm just looking for the link for anyone who doesn't have ChatGPT to kindly get it so that it allows us to start. Okay. Oh, someone did. Okay, perfect. If you don't have ChatGPT, please just sign up. It's very easy to sign up. They're just going to ask you for an email name and that's it. And you'll be in. It will help us get started on this. So please let me know. Do you see my screen? Do you all see my screen? Yes. Yes, we do. Perfect.
Yes, we do.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. I just need to confirm that what you're seeing is what I'm seeing. I apologize, it's taking too long for some reason. My internet is quite slow. And I'm not able to see what I'm sharing. Do you see the screen saying your AI transformation starts now?
Yes, we can do. We
Okay.
do see them.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So this session is about us understanding the different ways in which we can use AI, in which we can transform our lives, our businesses, especially our professional lives with artificial intelligence. So you've probably had the cliche saying that AI will not replace you, AI will not take away your job. Your job will be taken away by someone who is using AI. That's true. It's definitely true to an extent, though I know people who are in the AI space or who've been in these tech companies, and their jobs have literally been taken away by AI, even if they were working with AI. So it's like 70% true, but you're better off knowing the tools and knowing how to use it to level up, to improve your productivity, to scale your business, to improve your, basically how you do your work and how you perform at your work, at your business, because it literally makes everything easier. Now, my approach to AI is a bit different. As much as I want us to use it to scale our businesses and improve our lives and do all these things, I really, I'm passionate about us using artificial intelligence to serve more people, us using artificial intelligence to help more people, because it actually has the capability to help us do more good. There's a lot of bad that's said about AI, and people are like scared. People are like in different, like a different headspace every time, because we don't know what's going to happen. Is this thing going to kill us? Is it going to end the world? Is it going to like kill our children and grandchildren? We've had all things about our great-grandchildren marrying an AI human. So all these things are mostly the negative things that people are sharing. But there's a lot of beauty with artificial intelligence. We get to scale our businesses. We get to serve more people. If you have, like, for example, an NGO and you're serving a community of people, you want to do a training. Right now, you can do a training with AI in a few minutes, right? You get to help more people that way. If you want to scale a service in your community, you get to help more people with artificial intelligence. So I like to look at the artificial intelligence in this approach where it helps us to serve more people and help more people get better, improve their services. So real quick, I'd like to see in the chat, how many of us know the phone called a Nokia? I would want to see. I'm not sure if I'm a complete oldest person here. Does anyone here know a phone called a Nokia? Oh, someone dropped 3310. Oh, I do. Okay, that's really great. So here's the thing. Nokia was the king of phones only a few years ago. I was a bit younger, but I knew I wanted to hold a Nokia phone. Everyone had a Nokia phone. There was a phone called, I think it's a 3310. It was like very easy to use. It was like, it was the in thing, right? And, oh, someone dropped on Motorola too. Oh, Motorola is actually still in business. Motorola is actually still in business. So Nokia was a king only yesterday, right? And they literally did nothing wrong, right? So how many of us still use it today? How many of us still use it? I know they've come up with a few smartphones lately, but how many of us still use it? You could just drop anything in the chat, an emoji, a hand up, anyone? Because at some point, Nokia owned half of the world's phones, like half of it, right? When smartphones came out, when touch screens came out, they were literally laughing at the people who were doing this. They looked at Apple as the company that was doing something that's like a toy. Not many real people will use it. Who is going to use a smartphone when you can use buttons? The buttons were easier. Today, Nokia is literally dead, right? And right now, in Africa, almost 75 to 85% of businesses and of professionals are making the same mistake with AI. So you don't want to be among the people who are making the same mistake that Nokia did. We don't want to be yesterday's king when we could be the kings and queens today, right? So I want to share a few stories so that we put this in perspective, how important the discussion on artificial intelligence is, right? Do we know about a gentleman called Henry Ford? Have we all heard about Henry Ford? He's a guy who started Ford. He's a guy who started like the whole car business in the 1700s, I think, right? No, I think it was 1912 or 1913, right? So when at some point there were just horses, if you've heard about the Henry Ford story, there were just horses, and horse business was a big thing. It was like a business worth millions and billions of dollars, right? In the early 1900s. It was such a huge thing that everyone was working really hard to get a horse, right? Everyone wanted to have, because horses were like the thing. They were used for transport, they were used for, and this guy had the vision to actually do a four-wheel horse, right? Just using the same technology of the horse. It has four legs, just invent a car. This might be easier for people to move. And obviously people laughed at him. People were like, oh my God, like who would get into that thing? It's risky. No one would, like the guys who had like all these horse businesses did not even want to know. They didn't even want to entertain this idea of having a car. And right now, what Henry Ford started literally killed the horse business in about only 13 years, guys. Right now, horses are looked at as a luxury. Can you ride a horse? It's a thing. They've tried to keep that, but the horse business is dead. I don't know what they did with all those horses. I don't know if people eat horse meat. I'm not sure. And another one is Kodak. How many of us have heard about Kodak? Have we heard about Kodak at all? So Kodak was this camera company. When we were younger, when we used to take pictures, for people on here, well, someone just dropped Kodak moment, yes. if you were in, if you wanted to take a picture, you had to go to like a studio, and everyone had like a Kodak camera, and they would give these little films. So Kodak invented that film. Like you literally had to go and take that film to somewhere for you to get those images. It was just a whole thing. Kodak literally owned the photography business in the entire world, right? And surprisingly, Kodak actually invented the digital camera. They invented the digital camera that we have today, or at least the technology that had it, or at least the guys who invented it were actually, well, exactly, photos used to process in 3 days. The guys who invented the Kodak, the digital camera, came from Kodak. And sadly, when this was presented to the CEOs, they thought these kids were joking. They were like, who is going to do that? Who is going to go for the digital camera? Everyone wants the film. Everyone wants to use the Kodak film, right? People will always need film. Today, we take over 2 trillion photos in a year, 2 trillion photos, and none of these are taken on Kodak cameras. In fact, I believe it's the CEO of Kodak who said I think it was the Nokia CEO who said we did nothing wrong, but we still lost. This is exactly what's going to happen to us. And think of this year in your mind, the year 1993. Most of us were young. Some of you might not have been born, but the year 1993 is very special because this is the year that the internet was born. This is the year that internet technologies took effect. Now, where we are right now in 2025 with AI is not too far away from 1993 with the internet. When the internet took effect, everyone was like, oh my God, who is going to get on the internet just to get emails when I have a post office box? Why would I use the internet if I can communicate with people directly? And the people who took advantage, I'm sure we all know Amazon, people like Jeff Bezos, right? These guys took this very seriously. This guy built his company and no one could understand what he was doing. The internet has made lots and lots of millionaires, but especially the people who took the first steps. So this is where we are right now with the AI revolution. It's not one of those things that are nice to have. You shouldn't be wondering if, oh my God, like, is this even relevant? Should I learn it? You should be asking yourself right now, will I survive the next 10 years if I do not know AI? Is my job still safe if I do not know AI? Will I be able to scale my business if I do not learn AI today? And you don't want to be the Nokia. That's why I have told you these stories. You don't want to be the Kodak. You don't want to be the businesses, the horsemen, the horse business owners who did not want to get on with Ford, probably invest with him. Like, you don't want that because that's the moment we have right now. This is a moment that's defining our lives, it's defining our future, and it's a real revolution that we have to be a part of, especially as people from Africa. We always get left behind. These things come late to us. Well, not this time. Not this time. We get to be a part of this revolution. We get to be among the people who are scaling, the people who are growing big, the people who are literally minting money from the internet because we learned how to use artificial intelligence. So I wanted us to just have this at the back of our minds. Think of companies like Amazon. Think of companies like Alibaba. I'm sure you've heard of Alibaba and AliExpress. Think of people like Elon Musk. All these guys have taken advantage, Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, all these guys have taken advantage of the AI age. So your moment is definitely right now. So we don't want to be a Kodak, right? So I want us to look at these numbers, right? 15.7 trillion is the amount of money that AI is going to inject into the economy by 2030. That's even way bigger than China, right? Like the entire economy of China. And China has a really, really huge economy. It's going to change people's jobs. 375 million jobs will change because of AI. So this basically means the way we've been working is going to change, or it has changed already. If you're the kind of person and maybe you work in a banking institution, you work in accounting, in finance, if you've started using some AI tools at work, your work is changing. If you had to like analyze reports and analyze people's credit profiles and do all these things for weeks and get people right now, a task that you were doing in 14 days, you get to do that in what, 1 hour or 2? with AI tools. So it's basically switching the way we do our work and our jobs. And especially, I would say it's affecting almost all businesses. The only sector that's still a little bit safe, is the health sector. But even the health sector is not surviving this just because it has more regulations, right? Then the beauty about this is that it's going to create 97 million new jobs. So people are going to be able to thrive with 97 million new jobs, 97 million. You get to be a part of this. You get to be among the people who are going to thrive and benefit from this. And in Africa alone, it's going to add over $1.5 trillion. Trillions, guys. So this money is going to go to people. So why not you? Why don't you take advantage of this right now? And the beautiful years, the beautiful thing is that AI is going to create more millionaires in the next 5 years, way more than the internet has in 20 years. So we have a 5-year window to take advantage of this, to use it, not just use the tools, but start creating different ways to get paid using artificial intelligence to scale further. And also, the statistic is that companies that are using AI are 40% more efficient and more profitable. And right now, only 25% of African businesses are using it. So we want to get out of the 75% and go to the 25%. So before I continue, are we following? Do we have any questions? Can we see? Yes, I see some hearts. Can we drop some emojis? And in the meantime, please let me know if you've got ChatGPT, because we'll be getting into that very soon. Yes, I see some hearts. Any questions that you may have, please drop them in the chat so that I answer them in real time. Okay, are we good? So I have a thing when I'm doing these Zoom presentations. I really like to see people's faces. I know people are not very comfortable, but if we can share our beautiful faces, please, I'd like this to be interactive. Drop comments, drop questions, drop emojis so that I feel the vibe, right? So that I'm not boring you too much. So, like we said, the African continent is going to benefit with $1.5 trillion, right? So by 2030, guys, 2030 is 5 years from today, right? And I want you to think about how revolutionary some of the things we have done as Africans that the Western world had never thought of. Something as big as M-Pesa. M-Pesa right now moves more money than some of the biggest American banks in the US. And this is an invention by an African person. So think about mobile money and the issue that mobile money people have been having with banks in Uganda, because banks are no longer moving that much money. People don't see the need to go and bank their money if they can just transfer it on the phone. And all these systems are actually powered by artificial intelligence. So the reason I'm bringing this up is that sometimes we think artificial intelligence is ChatGPT. It is not. ChatGPT just made artificial intelligence available to the regular human. But artificial intelligence has been around for, like, I think about 40 years. But 2023 is when, I think end of 2022, is when it, 2023, sorry, is when it took effect, is when the regular human like you and I, who know nothing about technology because I'm not technical at all, got the opportunity to use ChatGPT. So right now, your competitor or the people you're competing with have been using AI tools like for a while. So you don't want to be the person who is just seated by, waiting and hoping that everything will be okay, because it might not be. So what does AI do? Like, what does artificial intelligence do? Why should we even be bothered, right? AI does everything. And FYI, AI is not ChatGPT. It's just what made it accessible to the rest of the world. So most people, when they hear ChatGPT, they think, oh, I know how to use AI. It's very good to have ChatGPT as a base, but that's not enough. And this is what AI can do. Just examples, just some use cases, right? You could literally write a proposal that used to take you 3 days to write, and you get that done in about 3 to 5 minutes right now with AI. For people who are creative and in the creative world, you know how hard it was for someone to do a logo, even to use tools like Canva just to create the logo. it would take hours. Right now, you get a logo done in 30 seconds with AI tools. Before, people used to do videos, and videos were very expensive, and videographers were very expensive. Right now, a video that was $10,000 right now is only $10, right? Before, you could speak only one language. I have content in Arabic, and I don't even speak Arabic. I have content in French, and I don't even speak French. Someone talked about HeyGen. I use HeyGen to do the translations, and I use 11 Labs. So you want to be able to use these AI tools. For those of us who are in the finance world, and there'll be a few examples for people in finance and accounting in this presentation, because I know Coach Sam Iwanda is in that field, is that if you've been doing risk analysis for clients, for 100 clients in days, right? Right now, it takes you only a few hours if you know the right AI tools to use. So I'm talking about these examples so that you know that AI is actually a use case for you and for what you do right now. You just have to know the exact problem that you have and find a solution. We find the AI tool to solve it. The word that I use the most, I say there is an AI for that. There is an AI for literally everything. It's there. You think about it, someone has thought about it as well, and they have solved it. So if you're the people who are creating financial reports, these used to take days, right? A full day. Right now, you get to do a good and a great financial report, really professional, in just an hour. Loan assessments. I met a gentleman recently from I&M Bank, and they have an AI tool that they're using for risk assessment. Like basically they get to know, okay, this guy is high risk, don't give him money. This person is not very high risk, they'll be able to handle. And these are things that used to take particular analysts and people who have studied risk assessment. And do you see how people's jobs are actually living? So you want to be the person who knows how to use these AI tools, that when the banks, when the institutions that you're working with start to let people go, they want to leave the guy who knows how to use the tool, the guy who knows how to scale their businesses, the guy who knows how to do risk assessments of 100 people in a few hours without asking for a pay rise, right? So loan assessments, audit preparations, like all the things that used to take a very long time. Right now, these are not, it's not necessary anymore. So real quick, how many of us here work maybe 8 to 10 hours a day? So basically we're going to work by like, I don't know, 8 a.m. and 8-hour days, 8 a.m. to 5 to 6. How many of us are working a day job? Emojis, please, chat. I'd like to see some engagement, everybody. How many of us are working at an 8 to 10-hour day? Members on the call, we can share, feel free. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you, Silas. Someone raised their hand. I'm here, Diana. Okay. You can literally cut your day and what you're doing in hours if you use AI. I work about 9 hours. Perfect. You can literally cut about 4 of those daily. And what does this mean? If you still get your work done for your business then you have extra hours to do other things. You have extra hours to work on your own business. You have extra hours to learn a new skill. You have extra hours because right now, AI can improve your productivity by almost 80%. But it won't do it if you don't know how to use it. And that's why we are having this session today. So I want us to share a very simple framework that we're going to go through. I call these the 3 S's, right? And the first one is you want to simplify, right? So that AI does all the boring work that you have, all the repeated tasks that you have to do every single day. Then you want to scale. If you are doing something and you're spending your time to do it, maybe you spend 3 hours to do something, you get to do that in 10 minutes. That's how you scale. Then you want to strategize. You want to be the person in the room who is smarter than everyone else. You want to be the person who your team relies on, who your bosses rely on, who you rely. You want to be the person who is the go-to, that people, remember those kids in class who somehow always understood everything? If you're one of those kids on this call, we don't like you very much because some of us didn't really understand most of these things. But you know those kids who just somehow understood whatever the teacher said, and whenever you would ask a question, they would raise their hand and they would know the answer, yet you were all in class. So you want to be that person, the person who we are sure if she says this, if he says this, he's definitely saying the truth, because you've built the experience, you built the trust to be known as the go-to person for this thing, right? So the very first one I want us to go over is simplify. And please, everyone, if you've not yet got your ChatGPT, remember to get it, because we'll be jumping into it very soon. You want to learn to simplify with artificial intelligence, right? With AI, if you have 8 hours, it can literally become 8 minutes, like for real, 8 minutes. If you used to spend 8 hours writing a proposal right now, it will take you 8 minutes, because generating it is going to take, what, 2 minutes? You use the other 6 to just remove commas and do all those little things and make it sound like you. Or we could say, even if it's 8 hours to 1 hour, you spend an hour just perfecting it, right? And when I talk about the 80-20 rule, here's what I mean. Now, most of us who are professionals, one thing we have to know is that it's very important for us to build our personal brands. Very, very important. The only reason Coach Sam knows me, we've not met, is because I have a personal brand that he knows about on LinkedIn. It's because I have shown people out there that I am the person to go to when it comes to artificial intelligence. And I only started this journey actually a few months ago. I have been talking about personal branding and the power of personal branding and the importance of personal branding, which I still do talk about. But right now, my focus shifted to artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence helps people grow their personal brands faster, right? Now, the reason I'm talking about personal branding right now is that most of the content on the internet is totally artificial intelligence. Like, you go on LinkedIn profiles and people are literally copying something from ChatGPT with all the commas, with all the hyphens, with all the quotes, with all the dashes, and pasting it directly in their content. There is no hard work there. Like, you're not even putting a little bit of your input at all. So ideally, AI is supposed to be your thinking partner. It's supposed to help you, and then you do 20%. So that's why I brought the 80-20 rule. It gives you the perfect draft, right? Key being the draft. It gives you a draft, and then you perfect with the 20%. You then put your own spin, you put your own language. The beauty is you get the opportunity to actually train the AIs to then speak and talk like you and behave like you. That way they only bring out outputs that sound like you, right? So please take a screenshot of what you're seeing, because I want us to, give me a second. I want us to just use these in ChatGPT, these particular prompts that you're seeing here. Write a business proposal. Maybe let me drop it in the chat. That would be easier. And the reason I got these ones is because I wanted us to see like simple use cases without okay, there you go. I believe it's in the chat section. Simple use cases for us to be able to use AI if you didn't know how this could apply to you and whatever you're doing. So basically, whatever issue you might have in your business, AI can definitely solve it, right? Then the second S is going to be scale, right? You then get to be the multiplication machine. You get to be the person who scales your business, scales your productivity, improves whatever you're doing, almost 8 to 10x what you've been doing right now. If it's emails, if you were using time to send like 5 emails, you get to do 500 emails in the same amount of time. Before, you would have one design that would take you hours. Right now, you can have 50 variations of the same design, taking you a very short period of time. It could be just to check signatures, like reports. If you're like a bank manager and you have to get reports from analyze like 5 branches, 6 branches, you can literally do this analysis in a few hours for all the 50 centenary bank branches if the reports are sent to you using artificial intelligence. Now, for those of us who are wondering, I want you, when I give these examples, to think about how this could affect you and your job. Because if you've been among the people on the manager's team that are helping him or her analyze these reports and give them a final report, then how do you show up as the person who can use AI to scale more? How do you show up as the person who analyzes the reports faster, gives them a comprehensive report that you make sure, obviously you've looked at, make sure there are no mistakes, and hand it in. You then get to be the kind of person who is at the forefront. You get to be the kind of person who knows what they're doing. And people are going to wonder, how did you do this? They might know that you're using AI, but they won't know which tools. They might not know exactly what you're doing. So this is how you stay ahead. This is how you transform your business. This is how you improve your productivity, by learning how to use the different AI tools. So it could be analyzing loan applications. You get to analyze 200 instead of 20 in a day, right? Reconciling transactions. Like, the power that artificial intelligence has today is insane. And most of us are not using it. We're not yet understanding how we can actually apply this in our businesses or in our professional lives. So a simple reality check that I dropped here is that there are those long queues at the end of the month for those of us who are like in the finance world, right? Where everyone wants a statement, where everyone, right? AI can actually generate like personalized statements for 1,000 customers. You know how I have been to the bank, I bank with Centenary and KCB. Centenary has very long lines, but you would go and you just want a statement and it takes you a very long time. This is something, especially if you're not doing the online banking, this is something that can be automated in like seconds. And all 1,000 customers, 2,000, 10,000 customers are getting all their reports. Now, what happens to the person who was doing this manually? You then become useless, right? Very soon, and give it a few years, if you've traveled to countries like the US, you see how an entire bank branch has like 2 people. Literally the person who opens the door and like 1 person on the inside to assist you just in case anything goes wrong. That's where we are headed eventually. So then what happens to all the people who are working in these farms? Because all these branches will just be closed and there's just like one branch in a session, in an area, right? So think about how you get the person, you get to become the person who multiplies this for their boss, for their business, right? And then the final one is you want to strategize with artificial intelligence. You want to make sure AI is your thinking partner. Don't use it to do everything for you, because at the end of the day, if you release your entire personality to artificial intelligence, you're the one who's going to lose out. And as a parent, this disturbs me a bit, because our children are being raised in a world that is just going to be robots and all these things. And as much as I'm a proponent of AI, I am training them right now, I'm tutoring them with artificial intelligence, I'm doing all these things, but I still have to be careful that they retain their thinking capacity. They retain the discernment to know what's right and what's wrong, right? They retain the discernment to think for themselves, to think outside the box. So don't use AI to just do everything for you, because then you're going to go in front of people and you face blank because you don't have the AI to give you the answers. So use artificial intelligence as a partner. Whatever AI tool you're using, they should be your partner. Don't release your entire thinking capacity to them. And how are you going to do this? You get to spot trends really early. You get to find hidden opportunities. You get to solve problems before they actually become problems. You get to make like smarter decisions, right? And a quick example is, say, Sarah has like a jewelry store somewhere in Kampala, somewhere downtown Kampala, somewhere around Pioneer Mall, and they make deliveries and people go to like Google and they drop reviews. They go to like their TikTok and drop reviews, right? But then she realized that when she drops her customer reviews to AI, right? AI found that there is an issue with delivery, especially on Fridays. And then Sarah realizes, actually on Fridays, my main border guy has like another gig, right? That's when they work their second job. That's when they do this, right? So then you fix it. Then you make sure there's someone there. Now, this is something you might not understand unless you actually use AI to think with you, because AI then gets to see the patterns that your brain misses, right? So AI becomes your consultant. It will help you solve most of the business problems that you have and give you solutions real quick and real fast. Right? Do we have any questions so far? Because we're about to finish. Then we can get into actually using ChatGPT, right? And before, I want us to use, these are the tools I'm recommending that you start with, especially if you're a total beginner. I know people dropped these in the chat already, but ChatGPT is a must. I know lots of us use Claude, other people are using Microsoft Copilot, DeepSeek, and all these others. In my opinion, and I would like to celebrate my opinion, ChatGPT is still the best. ChatGPT would still give you the easier, the better answers. Claude is going to give you more comprehensive answers, but Claude has limits. It has limits to usage. Claude has limits to credits, which ChatGPT does not necessarily have. Claude, I'm on the paid plan, but it still limits me and it pushes me based on the work that I have done. But Claude and ChatGPT are really, really good for a start to do everything from text to video to the audio tools are not yet really good, but to image. So these are really, really good. Perplexity, as professional people, we do a lot of research. How many of us researching on Google? I'd like to see in the chat, how many of us do like a lot of research on Google? Jida, how many of us are still using Google to research? I do. Silas, there's a problem with the sound, please. Do you not hear me? Someone is saying there's a problem with the sound. Is it for everyone? Silas, can you help, please? I'd like to confirm. Please unmute and let me know if you hear me. I still use Google.
I can hear you.
Okay, someone is saying they hear. I use it on rare occasions. Yeah, you should be using it on rare occasions. You're very clear. Okay. So there's someone who's saying there's an issue with the sound. I think it's called Robel. Could someone help them out, please? I'm not sure what's going on there. So if you use Google regularly, you're going to be very happy with Perplexity, because Perplexity is like Google on drugs, like Google on steroids, for real. It researches Google like a problem and gives you just the perfect answers with resources, with citations, with whatever it is that you were looking for and who to follow to get it. And it's Perplexity. If you are a research person, if you're a research girly, a research person, Perplexity is your go-to tool. Now, the third tool, like you see, I put your tool, is going to be a tool for your niche. Now, I'm not sure what tool, what problem you have, but as long as I understand the problem or your profession, there is a tool for that. So once you have these three, you're good at least until the end of 2025. You use ChatGPT and Claude, you're using Perplexity, and you're using at least one or two tools for in your niche. These are you're ahead of like a huge percentage. You're literally in like the 1, 2, 3% of people, right? And as we end this part, right, I want us to think about something. So ideally, we get to choose, right? We have these two features. You could either have these by 2027, which is 2 years from today, the 4-hour work days, you get to 3x your income. You get to be able to be the person who teaches others. I started this AI journey seriously in March this year. So before I was using the ChatGPTs, the Claude, the Perplexities, but I really started my journey for real when I focused. I did a 50-day challenge where I learned AI tools like a mad person, right? And from March up to now, I get to be able to help more people. I get to have more speaking engagements. I get to be paid to teach people artificial intelligence. I get to actually have more clients book me, because most of my clients are actually in the US. I get to have more clients book me for the service that I focused on in March of this year. So this shows you how you can actually increase your income. And does it come with some issues if you choose to focus on something else? Yes, of course. Because right now, if you followed me on LinkedIn, or people who had followed me on LinkedIn before, my LinkedIn account was like really growing, it was buzzing. But right now, because you're not doing the hype thing, you're not doing what people are used to you doing, you have a change of brand, then obviously the engagement is down and people are not engaging as much. But the business is thriving more than when I spent all this time posting and engaging with people and doing all this. I now get to rebrand and increase my income. And this could be you in a year or in a few months if you focus on this, right? You get to be an industry leader. But there's another path also, which is path B, right? You get to lose your job to AI. You get to start over and you're 45 years old. You get to learn from kids. Because right now, honestly, we're learning from babies. But I get the opportunity to be able to share with other people. So you don't want to be the person who is starting over at 45 years old, right? And learning from all these kids and the language they're speaking Gen Z language, and you have no idea, right? And you get to be the expert, but of yesterday. So these two possibilities, just close your eyes and imagine, which one do you want to be? Like, honestly, without being too kiddie about this, honestly, which one do you see yourself being? Do you see? Because if depending on what you choose to do after this session, you get to literally determine the law of cause and effect. Whatever causes you take effect on, work on right now, will then determine the effect that you will have a year or two from today. So you're either the person who is going to be the AI expert in your niche, in your field, or the person who is going to stay and we'll see you in 2027 and you're still the same person, right? So can we drop some A's and B's in the chat? I work in a lending company. Which AI can I use? Risk analysis and income analysis. Path A. Nice. I would definitely recommend Path A, guys. Can we see some A's? A+++. Thank you. Well done. And before this is the final slide. Just a quick walkthrough of what you should be doing in the next few weeks, right? The very first one, download and play with these AI tools, the simple ones, ChatGPT and Claude, and play with them, right? Then you want to learn how to automate one painful task, one simple task. And I'm going to show you how to speak to ChatGPT, because I know we all know what tool is best for minute taking. I'm going to be answering some of these tools. What tool is best for minute taking? Create something impossible in week 3, like something you thought you would never create with artificial intelligence. And all this just requires you to spend at least 15 to 30 minutes every day. Just add it in your routine. Either wake up 30 minutes earlier and play with the AI tool, or sleep 30 minutes later than you do and play with the AI tool, or just use it at your lunch break. If your lunch break is an hour, make sure you use 30 minutes and use the 30 minutes to play with the AI tool, because your life could be totally different. Totally different. So do we have any questions? Because now we're going to get into ChatGPT. Could we just unmute? Like, honestly, let's just unmute and just scream out something so that I know we're alive and kicking. Anybody?
Hi, Zuriel.
Hi. Someone said
you
hi.
Have made my evening. You have made my evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Proudly associated.
I appreciate that. Thank you for showing up. Guys. Anyone else? Before we jump into ChatGPT? Drop something in the chat, okay? Oh, you're breaking, honey. You're breaking.
Hi, Zulia.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm okay, I'm Jovan.
Thank you for being here. How has this experience been for you, or how is it so far?
It's I think it's an eye-opener. I'm really enjoying it. Thanks a lot.
Okay, good. So there are a few questions in the chat that real estate tools.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, go ahead. What were you saying? But this is a time for us to interact and have a conversation. So Someone is asking which tool is best for minute taking. There are so many. I don't know if you've heard about Otter AI. There is Otter AI. I use another one called Tactic. Tactic is an extension. Actually, I think my Tactic is on here. Yes, it is. But I don't know if I can share it though. I think I have to open it up. I'm not sure how to share it, but it's literally transcribing and taking notes of whatever we say. And usually after the meeting, just straight in my email, it just drops the meeting notes. So I'd recommend Tactic is really good, and Otter AI. Otter is very nice. There are quite many though. They're quite many. There was another question. I work in a lending company. Which AI tool can I use, especially during risk analysis and income analysis? I'm going to find out for you. We're going to ask ChatGPT to tell us which ones, because it has, I don't know the tools for every industry. I know mostly for people who are in personal branding, or people who are using it to brand and create content. And those are just some that I'm going to be sharing today. Now, GPT-5 was introduced today. Do you see my screen? Unfortunately, I don't have access to the Zoom page anymore because now I'm in.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Can we all get access to our ChatGPT, please? Let's just have our ChatGPT in front of us. Let's just have, and we'll play with it together. So whatever we're talking about, just personalize for your own field, for your own niche. Now, the thing with these AI tools, or these are called large language models. They basically, you drop an input and it gives you something back. And the most popular large language models, we have ChatGPT, we have Claude, Perplexity. There are questions about it being a large language model. Then there's Grok AI for Elon Musk. And then there is DeepSeek as well. ChatGPT is the easiest for me to use, and I've trained my ChatGPT to sort of know how I speak. So it's the easiest. I use it the most, right? Now, when we are creating or prompting ChatGPT, there are some things I'd like for us to have at the back of our minds, right? We only get out the answers based off of the input, how great the input was, how best the question was, how good the prompt was. So there's this saying that it's silly questions, you get silly answers. So if you drop questions that are not very intelligent or that are not very good, then you're going to get silly answers. And I'm going to show you how to be able to then write the best questions or create the best prompts for these language models, these tools, to then give you the best answers, right? Now, at the back of our minds, one thing that's very important for us to understand is that the people we speak to, or the people we create content for, and by content, I mean videos, I mean captions, I mean writing emails, I mean writing reports, all that is content. We have the tendency to want to sound smart. Excuse me. Sorry. We have the tendency to want to sound intelligent, right? And because ChatGPT and all these AIs are robots, they are created to be smart. So they're going to give you smart responses. They're going to give you, and you're going to copy that and drop it in a report. And you wonder why people are not necessarily relating to what you have put out or to what you are presenting to them, right? The human brain comprehends best at a third grade level. And third grade are children who are between the ages of 7, 8, 9, right? And this is not to say that humans are not smart. Humans are very smart people, but we prefer clarity over complexity. We prefer someone who is clear. We prefer someone who is straight to the point over someone who is trying to show us that they are smart. We know you're smart. We know you're intelligent. You know, you have all these degrees, but we don't care because these degrees are not necessarily putting food on our table, right? At the end of the day, whatever content I am consuming, it's just me and my phone. I don't want to get to a piece of content and I'm looking and someone is writing the kaleidoscope of the Second World War that dropped a bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And like my brain, I didn't have to go to Google and find out what does kaleidoscope mean. I'm not coming back to your page, or I'm not going to read your report again. But we put some of these very complicated English words because we want to sound smart. No one cares if you sound smart. People care that you are clear. Can we drop the word clear in the chat? People care that you are clear. So always remember clarity. I'm waiting to see the word clear in the chat. Always remember, how can I avoid being identified as someone who has used AI, plagiarism, stroke free, zero AI detected? Always remember that it is clarity over being clever. Always. Now, as we get into using and prompting AI, I want us to just keep this at the back of our minds, that I want this to be clever. I want this to be understood by a 7 to a 10-year-old every time. I want this to be understood by a 7 to a 10-year-old. So if someone asks you what you do, you should be able to explain it in very simple terms that a 10-year-old can understand what you do. Now, I'm not going to tell a 10-year-old that I'm an AI automation strategist. No, because that's going to be confusing for them. You want to tell them now, do you know what robots are? You know, robots are like magic, right? So I get to be the person who works with these robots, and then I create magic on the back end, and I do all the little tasks for mommy and make sure mommy has enough time to rest. That's what AI automation is. So we want to be clear, not clever. Speak to a 7 to 10-year-old, clear, not clever, and always begin with the end in mind. I don't know if you've read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. That's one of the 7 habits. Always begin with the end in mind. You have to know what you want ChatGPT to give you, what you want Claude to give you. What's the end result? At the end of this, what do I want to benefit? Or what do I want the report it's giving me to look like? Because then that's going to guide how you speak to it. Then in writing, and this is something I train in my personal branding classes, is that whenever we are writing content, and by content, people, I'm not talking about content creation, no. By content, I mean any piece of writing, any piece of dialogue that you're putting out, that you say is written by you, right? Always remember that think about the person who is reading it. Content is not about you. Whatever you're doing is not about you. We don't care about you. We don't care that you ate. We don't care that you're hungry. We don't care that people don't care about you. Everyone cares about themselves. So human nature is selfish, and that's okay. And whenever I say this, people go out of their minds. Who is this woman? Who does she think she is? Selfish is not bad. And when I speak about this, I speak about my Christian brothers and sisters. They say even God is a selfish God. He wants us to pray to him. He wants us to praise him, right? Him first before anything or anyone else. Now, we are inherently selfish in nature, and that's okay. It doesn't make us bad people. It's just inherently who we are. So what do you do when you're dealing with a selfish person? Who is everyone that's interacting with your content? Everyone is asking, what's in it for me? There's a concept called within. What's in it for me? Let me drop it in the chat. People are wondering, what's in it for me? Why should I engage with your content? Why should I read your report? How am I benefiting? How is it helping me? So whenever we are creating content, it should benefit the reader. If you're writing a grant proposal, look at what the donor wants. What does the donor want? What is the donor looking for? And write to their tune. Give them what they want to hear, not what you want to say, because no one really cares about you. Everyone cares about themselves. They have the goals for their money. They know what their money should be doing. So it should be for the purpose for which they want. So whenever you keep this at the back of your mind, even when you're prompting, think about this. Someone is on their phone and they're reading your piece of content. And in your content, and this is for someone maybe writing content for their brand or whatever they're doing. I'll give LinkedIn as an example. Someone is on their phone and then they see a piece of content and you're writing. The people who do this are not doing it right. If you're one of these people who maybe does not save their money, does not save a percentage of their money, you're one of these people who goes out every time, if you're one of those people, like, how does it feel? It does not feel good at all because you're generalizing people. You're assuming that people are reading your content in a group. So whenever we are speaking, especially online, we speak to one person because everyone is on their phone solo. We speak to one person. So keep this at the back of my mind, at the back of your mind, right? When we're writing any piece of content, we speak to one person. When we are writing any piece of content, we use simple language so that a 7 to a 10-year-old child can understand it. When we're writing a piece of content, people that we're writing for are selfish. What do selfish people want? They want to know what's in it for them. So how do you do this? You identify the problems that they have and give them solutions. So every time you show up, you're the solution giver. Every time you show up, usually when I show up, I'm sharing an AI tool, I'm sharing a tip on how to use AI. It doesn't mean I don't have other things to share about and talk about. And I add some of them in my content. I add some of them, but I mostly do the service. I mostly do the value giving because that's what helps you build a personal brand that stands out. Do we have any questions on this? Because when we do this, then it will allow us to then create a piece of content together. So can I have a volunteer? Anyone here that we can know what you do? And then we can, how do I put the ChatGPT icon on my computer? Like the Meta AI, which comes up automatically. You have to download the app, but ChatGPT is very specific on the computers, mostly on Apple computers. It's a bit not very good if you have like a regular PC. Can I have a volunteer, please? Anyone who might want to learn? I know we know how to use ChatGPT. Mine is a bit different. That's why I want to do it with someone.
Hello.
Hi, who am I speaking to?
I'm called Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing, my sister?
I'm fine, thank you, Zuria.
Okay, so Sarah, what do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm an educationist and I work in an assessment body as a senior examinations officer. My major role is to handle and manage scripts. What I mean by scripts is that when scripts come from the field, we receive them, we sort them, and all those things. I supervise a team of 8. And basically, my main challenge, I would say, is at the end of every activity, I'm supposed to make a work plan, I'm supposed to write reports, and at times I find challenges.
Okay.
I don't know if that works for you.
Yes, it does. And the beauty is, especially the people who are asking about the meetings, like the apps to take meetings. Let me just get this real quick.
Can I log off? Can I go off?
No, please don't go off. Because
Okay.
I want to have. For some reason, it's not allowing me to copy. It's not allowing me to copy the notes in the chat. Just give me a second. I want to copy exactly what you've told me. And then I can drop it in ChatGPT. Oh, actually, I can show you what this looks like. So this is what, do you see my screen? Are you seeing Tactic? Okay, So this is what we were just talking about. Can I log off?
Your phone is ringing.
My phone? Okay. Okay, we can go back to ChatGPT and I'll drop this. So I call my ChatGPT Luna. That's why I say, you see, I said, hey, Luna. So what I'm going to say, I hope, do you see my screen? Guys, do you see my ChatGPT screen?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
So what I'm saying is this is a conversation between me and the client, prospective client called Sarah. She wants to know how to use AI to support her work. What do you make of this conversation, and how can I help her through this? So this is where we then add all the things we spoke about. Remember to use simple language. Make it clear that a 7 to 10-year-old understands. And pick out her exact pain points that we can help her solve. Let's see what it gives us. Seems like Sarah's main challenge is managing reports and creating work plans at the end of every activity. She's likely overwhelmed with these tasks and perhaps is looking for a way to streamline or automate the process. Here's how you can help. AI for report writing. AI tools like ChatGPT can help Sarah by drafting reports based on key data that she inputs. She can even automate some of the repetitive aspects of report writing, making it much quicker and less stressful. The second one is AI for work plan creation. Using AI, Sarah can set up templates for work plans where she just inputs the key details and the AI generates the structure for her. This saves her time and ensures consistency. Team management. AI can support her in managing her team by organizing tasks and deadlines. Tools like project management softwares powered by AI can help track progress and remind her and her team of important milestones. Script management. AI can help with sorting and categorizing the scripts. There are AI tools designed to manage documents and files effectively, so Sarah's team can access the right documents quickly. In simple terms, AI can help Sarah do her job faster by taking care of repetitive tasks, blah, blah, blah. You could start introducing her to simple tools like Notion or Trello and ChatGPT for generating reports and work plans, showing how easy it is to set up. Does this work for you, Sarah? Or does this describe what your issue was?
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted
maybe Zuria, what I can only ask is, I've read the narrative, but if I want to write a report, I've seen you went to Tactic. Do I go to ChatGPT? How do I go to that specific tool that I can use for writing a report?
So I didn't go to Tactic to write the report. I am using Tactic to record the minutes of this meeting. So it's basically transcribing whatever we say. So you said a lot of things that obviously I couldn't grab automatically in my head. So that's why I went to Tactic to copy your exact words and drop them here so that it can just help me understand what your problem is better. So now when you're asking about report writing, there are different tools, and that's why we are in ChatGPT. It shows you what I would recommend is using a tool like Live Transcribe. I don't know if you know what Live Transcribe is. It's an app on the phone, and it would basically just transcribe everything that you have, or everything. If your team writes out, for example, gives you some reports, do they give you reports?
Yes, they do.
So when they give you the reports, you come here and create a thread in ChatGPT, take images of those reports, just take pictures and upload them here. ChatGPT allows you to upload images. Take pictures and upload them here, and then ask for the reports that you want. So basically tell it to put all this together with the names of who is doing what, and then ask it to give you a comprehensive report that you can submit or that you can use for your reporting purposes as a manager or as a team leader.
Okay.
So that would be one. Now, this one that is talking about Notion or Trello, these are project management tools, which I don't know, especially Trello, which I don't know you might need right now. But Notion just helps you organize. And I don't want you to focus on the tools right now. I just want you to see the power of using ChatGPT. Because the exact question you're asking, right? Let me ask it here. What tools can she use specifically to write and analyze reports? So it's saying ChatGPT, it's saying Grammarly, it's saying Scrivener, Microsoft Word with AI-powered features, it's saying Quillbot, Google Docs, Tableau, Otter AI. Otter helps to transcribe, right? So I want us to go for just, let's go back to Notion. Let me give an example of Notion. And if you've never heard of a tool like Notion and it gives it to you. So if she were to use Notion AI, how would she use Notion AI and ChatGPT together? Never mind that spelling errors, it always knows what the right thing is. How would she use this to come up with the best reports and organize her team properly? Remember, I'm just a beginner, so explain this to me step by step, like you would a child, a 10-year-old child. Okay, let's see what it gives us. So if you wanted to learn how to use Notion or any AI tool, by the way, this works for anyone who has any question on how do I use AI? I don't know what AI helps me. I don't know. Just come to ChatGPT and spill out all your problems. Like literally, it has this audio feature that you can just dictate what your issue is. It will transcribe everything, and then it will answer your question. So this is step by step on how you can use Notion, how you can organize your reports in Notion, how you can use AI to help write reports. This is where Notion AI comes in. Then it shows you how to use Notion AI. Type out bullet points.
So, hello?
Hello.
Yeah, so what I've realized, again, with ChatGPT, you need to know how to ask.
Exactly. That's the only purpose of this session, by the way. You have to know how to speak to the AIs. It's pointless for us to have these AIs. If we're going to live with these things in the future, we might as well know how to communicate with them. But at the back of your mind, always know that this has to be simple. Don't complicate anything. The language has to be very simplified, both for you who is learning and for the people that you're writing for. It doesn't matter how smart you are or how intelligent I feel that I am. I don't want to use my intelligence on just scaring people. These tools are easy to use. but ChatGPT is the one that we all must know and must have. It's literally a no, it's like a no option. We have to use ChatGPT. Now, this is just an example for you to know, and this is just one tool. You can do this for all the tools that it is giving you. And if we went to Claude, Claude might even have better responses for some of these things. But whatever it gives you, again, just tell it, I don't know how to use this. I am a total beginner. Take me step by step. How do I build a report? How do I use Canva AI? How do I use Gamma.ai? How do I use, like, there are a lot of tools that we can use as business professionals to help us. Presentations. I did this presentation that I've shared with you today, I think in about 15 to 20 minutes. That includes editing and everything. I did it in an AI called Gamma.ai. Gamma is, let me drop it in the chat. I hope, do we all know Gamma? Have we used Gamma before?
No.
Let me
I've heard about it personally, but I haven't interacted with it.
Or maybe let me just share my Gamma. Because I assume we do presentations quite a bit, or no?
A lot of them.
Okay. Who said a lot of them? Who is that guilty party that's about to tell me?
Maria.
Maria, okay. Maria,
Yeah.
I'm in Gamma.ai and I'm saying create, I don't know if you saw what I did. So this is Gamma, and I'm not even paying for this anymore. I used to pay for it, but I don't do presentations a lot. And even this was free, right? So you would go to create with AI. You see my screen, right? So create with AI. Maria, what do you do? What do you usually create presentations on?
So I work in a health sector, and we do a lot of work to support the ministry on like, for example, the work that I do on malaria. We do so many presentations, like, for example, on maybe like costing for implementations, and then we do a lot of presentations for different stakeholders in terms of the work that we do, in terms of the kind of services that we support the government on. And most of the times, I think I have struggled with designing presentations based on the audience, but also the other thing around having precise presentations, like not too wordy, but just on point presentations, but also the story building around the presentations has also always been like a challenge. So like there is something you want to present, but building a story around it sort of like proves to be a little bit hard. So it takes you a bit longer than it would have. Yeah.
Well, my sister Maria, welcome to the world of AI, because we're about to create a presentation for you in minutes. Just give me the topic. And I want to do this presentation both in ChatGPT and Gamma. And this is why I want us to go to ChatGPT. I want us to use ChatGPT to talk to ChatGPT. I don't know if that makes sense. So sometimes we don't know how to talk to ChatGPT. Sarah earlier was saying you have to know what to say. Sometimes if you don't know what to say to ask ChatGPT a question, ChatGPT will give you what to say to ask ChatGPT a question. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does make a lot of sense.
I am saying so many things at the same time, but I'm back in ChatGPT, and we're going to ask it for a prompt. Whenever you don't know what to say, ask ChatGPT to give you the prompt, right? So and correct me where I'm going wrong. I'm in what would you want to create a presentation on?
I think I would want to create a presentation on optimizing interventions.
Hey, important words, my sister. We talk on the important words. Optimize the, but it's okay. ChatGPT will simplify.
Yeah. Optimizing.
Yes, can I say something?
Yes, my dear.
Yeah, I think you've skipped. I think you've skipped on some discussion that you had earlier and moved on to Maria's discussion. You were discussing around Notion.
No, I didn't. I think we finished Notion. I was just showing you, if you want to learn how to use Notion AI, ChatGPT can teach you how to use Notion AI. Now, right now, I'll give you an example. I am not technical at all. I don't know how to write any code, right? I don't know anything. But with the little AI knowledge that I know, or a lot of AI knowledge that I know, I can build an app. I can build an application in any field in the next 5 minutes. But the only way for me to do that, or the only way I have been able to learn all the knowledge that I know, is that I use ChatGPT as a beginner. I always tell it I don't know how to use this tool. So I was just giving an example of Notion as one of the tools you can use to organize your projects and your work and your team and organize your reports. Now, Notion AI is not hard to use, but I can't get into it right now. What I was showing you is once you come to ChatGPT and ask it, take me step by step on how to use Notion, it will do it. It will tell you, like literally, it has told you, click here, ask ChatGPT for help. Like, do you see all these steps? It takes you step by step. And if you don't understand, you can go ahead and say, for step 1 on setting up Notion, I didn't understand. Break it down further, completely step by step, because I'm a total beginner and I don't know anything about technology. It will simplify it further. So it's just to give you I just used Notion as an example because it gave us very many tools. It gave us about 8 tools, some of which now I've never heard of Scrivener, and it's there. They're saying it's a tool for writing documents like reports. I've heard of Grammarly, I've used Grammarly before. So I just picked on a tool just to show you how to use ChatGPT to learn it. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, my dear. So Maria was saying I want to create a presentation on optimization of what?
Malaria interventions in Uganda.
This doesn't feel like enough context. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm just really.
Okay,
do you want me to
mind.
provide some more context?
No, if you can, yeah.
Okay, it's just really helping you understand which interventions can go best where. That's it.
Best where, does that mean a particular part of the country?
Oh, yeah. In terms of geographies, in terms of like where we have high transmission areas, low transmission, moderate transmission areas, something like that.
Based on low, medium, and high transmission areas. Okay. So based on this, give me a prompt for a GPT model. Now, this is language that is used in this world. But even if you don't use GPT model, you just say, give me a prompt. We say GPT model to just help it understand that we're going to use one of these models that ChatGPT or that Claude has. Claude has Sonnet and another one. ChatGPT has, for some reason, they've removed all the models. They're just leaving ChatGPT 5 because they just launched. There's 3 or there's 4. There's 4 or there are quite many. So basically, give me a prompt for a GPT model to help me create a beautiful 10-slide presentation to my team on the above topic. Remember to weave in practical examples and context that are relatable to Uganda and the Ministry of Health in Uganda, and use narrative transportation. Now, narrative transportation is basically a concept that makes storytelling interesting. So when we're telling stories, if I'm writing something and I say it was like 8:30 a.m. and we were rushing because we had to go to Jinja to attend a medical camp, and we had to be there by 12:15 because the camp was starting at 12:30. And I get to town, or I get to where we are boarding as a team, and I realize I forgot my laptop at home. Now, what I'm doing right now is I am narrating and transporting your mind there. Already, with just that statement, when I say 8:30, immediately your mind goes to it's morning time. When I say 8:30 a.m., my brain goes to it's morning time. When I talk about 12:15, obviously my brain is seeing a little bit of sun somewhere in Jinja. So that's what we call narrative transportation. So basically, it's a concept in storytelling to just help people be more engaged. You know, sometimes you read people's content or people's things and you're like, this person writes really well. I don't know how I'm able to read this person's things throughout the end. It's just some of these things that they weave in to make sure that whatever you're writing is interesting. So remember to weave in practical examples and context relatable to Uganda and the Ministry of Health in Uganda. Use narrative transportation. And there's another concept that I'm going to explain that I use in most of my prompts. It's called cognitive fluency. I know I said no important words, but there is no other way to say these ones. Now, cognitive fluency basically means make something easy, make something simple. So all these concepts are under cognitive fluency. When I say write it for a 7 to 10-year-old, we're simplifying things. The human brain does not like complicated things at all. Even when you're speaking to PhDs and the entire room is full of professors, they want clarity and simplicity. They don't want you to start explaining to them things that they already know are complicated. The more you simplify it, the better. So that's the concept of cognitive fluency, is make it easy for people's brains to understand what you're saying. So cognitive fluency covers using simple language. It covers using graphics and images. It covers using spaces as you're writing so that your things are not crammed in paragraphs. It covers all those things. So that's why I'm putting it here. And also give us speaker notes that will tell these stories. At least add 3 stories, stroke examples, because you mentioned stories was an issue for you, and examples per slide. Make this emotional. This is another concept. Whatever I remember, I'll talk about it in real time. Make this emotional. The only way we connect with human beings is through emotion. So whenever you're writing or you're asking ChatGPT, always remember to add the issue of emotion. We want to, whenever we are creating a piece of content for other people, like these slides, we want to connect with people's emotions. We want to stir emotions of maybe fear or happiness or joy or scarcity, or like whatever emotion you want to bring out, you always ask ChatGPT to get emotional in that line, or whatever language model, because that's how you captivate and get people glued to what you're saying. And practical as a use case. So I usually ramble on, and it will eventually give me what I want. So let's send this and see. So create a 10-slide presentation on optimizing blah, 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 targeting low and medium, da, da, da. Use narrative transportation to engage the audience. My friend, it has even given us examples. It's as if it's doing everything, but this is just a prompt, by the way. Okay, now We then copy this, right? This is copy. And then we first paste it here and see what this gives us. In fact, let me open Claude as well. So, by the way, did it give me the prompt again? It did. Practical 3 stories. The malaria situation in Uganda. Give me the presentation, please. So let's, as this is deciding what to give us, now this is what Claude looks like. Now, I'm not sure, I've not used the free versions of these tools. This ChatGPT is paid and even this Claude is paid, but I know pretty much the free versions would still give you an equally good output. So I've dropped this in Claude and I want to see what it will give us as well. Before we go back into Gamma. Okay, here we go. So now ChatGPT has given us 10 slides. I've done 10 because Gamma, the free version, will only allow you to do 10, right? It's given you the title slides, optimizing, blah, blah, blah. It's given you speaker notes. Good morning, everyone. Whatever you do in the speaker notes, then it's giving you the title, malaria as a national crisis. It's giving you examples, right? But with the prompts that it gave us, I now want us to go back to let me first show you Claude before I go away. Now, this is what Claude looks like. Once you give Claude, Claude works in real time. It basically shows you what's happening on the right-hand side. It's showing you the code and everything. And I'm seeing examples, Mr. Musoke. Claude will, when it comes to some of these things, Claude will always give you a better presentation than ChatGPT. So I like it for that. But generally, when it comes to other things that require real thinking, ChatGPT will always give you a better output. But let me see, I'll see what it gives us. We'll come back to this now. The prompts that we've got from ChatGPT, we then come back to Gamma.ai. Are we still together? I don't even know when I start talking about AI over talk. Do you still see my screen?
We do, Zuria.
Okay, so there's 2 options. You can either go to the paste in text, and this one will just be you copying what you've got from the AI and you come and paste it here. But then I want us to use this one for generate, where this is saying a 1-line prompt in a few seconds, where you drop the prompt that the ChatGPT gave you. It said 1 line, we gave it a lot. Presentation, 10 cards. Okay, so you see it's giving you 10 cards, which is on the free credits. 10 cards really just means slides, basically. Then you say generate. And it's generating. With the examples that you said, with images of people, like Gamma is just amazing. And ideally, as someone who has created presentations in the past, this used to take hours on end. So this is how you show up and show out at work, and people don't even know how you did this. But as it's generating, I want us to just go back real quick into Claude, because I see we're running out of time. And see. Let's see what Claude has given us.
Hello. Hello.
So this is the design that Claude has given. Usually it should give it to continue nudge Claude along. I don't know why it's hanging. But sometimes if it starts designing this, you just go ahead and tell it, just give me the slides. Let's just go back to Gamma and see. Gamma will literally do all kinds of images, like all kinds of beautiful things to give you a professional feel and make sure you have a presentation that's, so does this help, Maria? Do you see how it works?
Yes, I do, Ziria. This is actually so amazing.
Okay. Yeah. And there's another one, I think it's called Beautify.ai. It does the same thing, but I've worked with Gamma a few times. It will generate images for you. It will, and all you have to do is then go in and just play with the content. You just make changes, make sure it matches whatever you're doing, make sure it matches whatever you're saying, and you're good to go. I'm seeing even important words here: chemo prevention success. But you in the health field obviously understand what that means. I'm seeing vaccines being dropped by drones. Like it's AI, and it's very helpful. So I think that's it, guys. Do we have any questions? I need to go back to the chat section and see if there are some.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, my dear.
Yeah, do you think it's more it's more useful to use these tools while they are paid, or even the free version can actually just give you what you need? Cause why I ask is sometimes I think I've tried to incorporate AI, especially ChatGPT, because I think it's what I use most these days, into my daily work routine. But you get to find that sometimes you're limited because it's a free version. So would you advise that one would rather invest in subscribing for these tools than using them in a free version, or you can actually still get what you want using the free version of these AI tools?
So I'm going to give you an answer that's relative based on what you use the tools for. The reason I have these tools paid is because of the nature of my work. The nature of my work is personal branding for myself, for my clients. So I'm always creating graphics, I'm always creating images, I'm always creating content. Like on a daily, my team has access to this ChatGPT as well, so, and the Claude. So if we need to have the paid version to be able to have it work fast and work better. But even when I know most of my clients who use the free version and it works pretty well. you don't have to pay for it unless you're using it on like a huge scale, because sometimes it will limit. I don't know if you've reached some point and then ChatGPT is telling you you've reached the limit of this, blah, blah, blah. That it will do that on the free plan. I beg your pardon?
So many times, it happens so many times. And sometimes what I do, I reopen, like, resign to another one.
So it does that just to frustrate you, obviously, so that you can pay. But at the end of the day, it's 80,000 Uganda shillings. It's 80K that you can invest in this a month. It's only $20. I say 80K because in exchange, if you don't have a USD account, you lose a lot of money in there. So it's only $20 and you get to have like your own AI assistant. So if someone wants to actually incorporate AI in their business, the one tool I'd recommend for you to pay for is ChatGPT. Now, most of the ones I have are paid because I'm doing this as a business. Mine need to be paid. Because I don't want to get to a presentation and I'm sharing with a team and then it starts telling me you've reached your limit. Go to the next one. So the free ones work absolutely well. They work absolutely well. Someone was asking on which type of computer brand. Is that for the ChatGPT app? I have a MacBook. I had it on this one, but for some reason my Mac started acting up. And when I tried to bring it up again, it told me I need to have an upgraded version of the Mac to use it. So I don't have it anymore, but it works really well on the web version. I'm responding to a question from Sylvia. It works really well on the web version, and you can have the apps on the phone. So comment on the presentation, please keep them coming. Youth urbanization and global possibility case study of Uganda. Causes of unemployment in Uganda, all of that. I'm seeing all these things right now, but ideally, what you saw me do, if you want to do a presentation, what you saw me do is exactly what you do. You might not know what to use as a prompt if you go straight to Gamma. So go to ChatGPT, ask for the prompt, and then come and paste it in Gamma and use that prompt.
Zoria.
Yes, my dear.
Sorry, Maria here. I'm sorry, I'm asking so many questions, but
ask away.
Yeah, I just wanted to, the issue around useful prompts. What are some of your learnings in terms of as you have developed skills around using the right prompt? Because just like you mentioned, it's very important that you actually understand what exactly do you need to put it as a prompt to give you what exactly you want. Because in most cases, I find myself struggling with, first of all, the right words to use as a prompt in the first case. And the other thing I've also learned is if you fail on the prompt, it gets hard for you to actually be able to
fail on everything else.
Yeah, use the most out of the ChatGPT app, because you don't know what exactly to say. So what are some of your learnings around what exactly do you need to conceptualize for you to be able to get the prompt right?
Maria, and important words, conceptualize. I have spent a lot of time dealing with regular people that I forget words like conceptualize. I'm kidding though. I've brought back my ChatGPT just to help you answer that. I came here and I said a lot of things. If you remember here when we were typing out, the very first one, I talked about narrative transportation. Now, for me, I have a background in writing and copywriting and email copywriting. Copywriting is basically, for those who don't know, is the art of writing words that sell. Basically understanding, you see the words that you hear in adverts, the things that you see on your emails, sales copy, the things that you see on landing pages, on websites. I trained myself in that, right? I bought courses to learn that. So I sort of have a background, so my approach might be a bit different. That's why I'm giving you the basic things to have at the back of your mind. If you didn't write them down, the very first one is narrative transportation. And again, these words, just have them at the back of your mind and ask ChatGPT for them. Just write them down. Narrative transportation, cognitive fluency, right? adding words like give me location and time. Location and time will do the storytelling and transport people's minds and people's brains to whatever you're saying. Use simple language that a 7 to 10-year-old understands. Ask it for short sentences. Give me short sentences, not more than 8 to 10 words long. The shorter the sentences, the easier it is for people to read. So all these are concepts of the psychology of writing, and they're mostly under cognitive fluency. So you've seen, if you've seen how I write on LinkedIn, I usually use, I would write like 3 sentences and then I write 1. I write 3 sentences and then I write 1. It's like music to the brain when we see those patterns and we see the words that people are writing. Someone says 1 sentence, they say 3. So it's like, and the brain, our brain psychologically, it's been proven, loves the number 3. 3 is the number of creation. Apparently 1 plus 1 is 3 in the creation world, because it is mom and dad equals a child. So it's a family of 3. So 3 is apparently a special number in our brains. So using and writing sentences in 3s makes it easier to read. Now, that's for purposes of making sure your audience receives whatever you're saying and whatever you're writing. Now back to then writing prompts. If you understand this, and always understand to begin with the end in mind. When you told me you struggle with stories, you struggle with making sure that the narrative is very clear, especially when it comes to stories. That's why you see, I made sure that I ask it when I know what I want the output to be like. I'm very clear on the end. So then I will ask it to give me something that drives me to the end, to my end goal, right? So always have your end in mind, and then just ask it, just type out whatever you want. But at the end of typing it out, then ask it to give you a prompt. If you say this, I said, based on the above, whatever you have told me, give me a prompt. You don't have to do for a GPT model. You can say, give me a prompt to help me create a beautiful 10-slide presentation to my team on the above topic. Remember to weave in practical examples and context that are relatable to. I don't have to, the prompt it gave me, I would never have written these words, because this is the prompt it has then given us. Create a 10-slide presentation on optimizing malaria preventions in Uganda, targeting low, medium, and high transmission areas. The presentation should be both practical and emotional, using context and examples that are relatable to the Ministry of Health in Uganda. Include practical real-life examples for each slide. Each slide should contain at least 3 stories or case studies. I didn't even use the word case studies, to illustrate the concepts and interventions. Use narrative transportation to engage the audience so they feel emotionally connected to the content. Speak in a language that is simple, clear, and relatable to the Ugandan health context. Make sure to include speaker notes for each slide, where you tell a story or provide a real-life example for each one. Use cognitive fluency to keep the language accessible to a diverse audience. This is the prompt. So you drop whatever you want to say and then ask it to give you the prompt. Does that make sense? And this works for everything. You don't have to stress with the prompts anymore, but at the end of the day, you have to know what you want. You have to be very clear on the kind of prompt you want, because if you just say, give me a prompt on optimization, in fact, let's try that. Give me a prompt for a presentation on, let me do this, and we see the difference between the prompt it gives us here and here. Give me a prompt for a presentation on optimizing malaria interventions in Uganda. Let me just add 10 slides. In fact, this one knows how I speak, so it's still giving me the create a 10-slide presentation on optimizing, specifically targeting. Now, I didn't put all these specifically targeting high, low, medium, blah, blah, blah. But had it been a plain, not this exact thread, I believe it would have given us something different. Let me try a different thread. And I know it's time. Guys, do we have any questions?
Yeah, Zuria.
Yes, my dear.
It's Dana here. I've seen an amazing comment in the comment section.
Please.
from Casemire Jida.
Yes.
I think it may be right time for people to give out stories of how they have been interacting with ChatGPT. I've seen her in the chat. If she can just give out, it would be also helpful to be an example of how people are navigating that tools.
Please go ahead. Jida, do you want to unmute and you say something?
Like how she came up with that presentation, that design of the new building. Yeah.
Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Hello, how are you,
Can
Jida?
hear me?
Yes.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good, my sister.
Yes. About this topic. Yeah, my experience with ChatGPT, I landed it when I went to a stakeholder meeting that was real by, and that a certain white lad just came in it. Of course, when I left, I immediately, she told me, I am new in the industry of real estate. And for that reason, my boss has assigned me a project managing a building. It's called Kingsgate 2. It's basically here in Kabalagala. It's a new building. Actually, it's still under construction. But these people, they had started building, but I don't know what they had in their mind, but they didn't have a design of their building. So when I came, I found when they had already built it, it was already on stand with 5 levels, a drive-through within. And then she told me, Jida, I want to advertise this building, but I want you to help me because you told me at least you've been having a background of marketing and all that. I want you to help me come out with a design that I am going to use, maybe to put outside and all that. So what I did, I told him to take me to the building. So we went there. He discussed with me the materials that they are going to use. He discussed how the drive-through is going to be. He showed me how the shops are going to be allocated. He told me the type of glasses they are going to do, what to use. So what I did, I went and I told, hey, Google, I used ChatGPT. I tried to bring out the knowledge or the information they had given me. So when I gave out that information, it was not enough. So what Google did, ChatGPT, it had to give me the information down. So I went through a step by step, reading everything. So I looked at what fits what the project is. So I got out that and then send it again. And I commanded it to design for me a design. So it brought for me the first design. I refused. I said, no, this is not going to be the one. Can you try again this one? I showed them the ramp is going to be here. We are going to have parking up this side. We are going to have this name here. So at last, it gave me a real design. So when I took the design to the man, the gentleman was like, Jida, tell me who did this. I told him I did it myself. Told me, how did you do it? I told him I have an app on my phone and this is what I use, but I don't disclose what I use. I don't tell them because sometimes they're surprised with what I am bringing out on their table. Every time I go into ChatGPT, I bring out something new and they're like, okay, I think this is good. Yeah, so that's how I got it. I looked at the building, the setting of the building. I looked at the shops. I looked at the drive-through, how it is being connected with the ramp and all that. So I placed it into what? I texted it onto ChatGPT and I commanded it to create. And that's how it came out.
Nice. And I like that you're saying that because we've used ChatGPT for a lot of similar things. I do have a client who is an architect and we've used ChatGPT and there's another architecture tool that I'm forgetting that it will come up with an entire design. Someone was asking about how to use which particular real estate tools, and whatever part of real estate that you're in, just go and ask for that tool. ChatGPT will give it to you. If it doesn't give it to you, most of these tools are actually have ChatGPT in the background. They use the ChatGPT API to create most of these AI tools. So I like that you're sharing this. Thank you. Thank you, my dear.
Yeah.
Thank you. Guys, I don't know if there are any other questions. If they are, I could share my email and maybe phone number. I actually do this professionally. I train teams, I train companies on how to adopt AI. We come in, look at exactly what you have. We didn't have enough time to get into AI agents. That's a whole other story, because you can be able to just automate and use and create a simple AI agent to show you how, like, to just show you, help you do a particular task, like a simple task. Because I'm in this field of AI, I need to know AI news, right? So I want to show you, I created a ChatGPT, simple automation and simple agent. I'll just show you real quick. I open some, I don't open some. But if you see my screen, this is my email. I receive these emails from ChatGPT, 2 emails every day at 6 a.m. It gives me the news in AI, the news that helps CEOs save time and money with artificial intelligence. It gives me a daily newsletter. So you can do this for your own field, but we obviously don't have time to do this right now. But I'm just showing you how we can actually use these tools to just improve how we work. Instead of having to research all the time, it could just get the news, like things that have just landed, things that you see on Twitter, things that you see that have just happened and are live. It will give you that you could tell it to give it to you every 6 hours, every 12 hours. Mine is 24 hours. So there's just different ways to use the AI tools. And if you need any of these trainings, you can always come and train your companies, train your businesses on how to adopt AI. So it's no longer this scary thing that's going to come and kill us and take over the world, right? So I'm dropping my email in the chat if you need any help. And you can always speak to Silas and Samuel. I haven't had Samuel's voice today. Coach Sam, to just share some of, just share contacts if you need them. But either way, I've dropped them in the chat. And thank you very much for having me. I appreciate all of you. Back to you, Silas. Yay, someone sent me a beautiful clap. Thank you, Namtiri. Thank you, my dear. Is ChatGPT a software for AI? No. ChatGPT it's called a large language model. So think of ChatGPT like an app, right? Think of it like an app. I'm responding to you, Robin. Think of it like an app that knows everything in the world. So basically, on the back end of ChatGPT is it's not Google. ChatGPT is based on Bing. Bing is Microsoft. It's a Microsoft browser, right? The way Gemini has Google on the back end, Bing is the one for Microsoft. So they basically have everything that has ever been uploaded on the internet, all news, all information, and it's all placed in this one app. So whatever you ask, instead of going to Google to ask, how can I create a presentation? And then Google, you have to read page 1 and page 2, and you might find your answer on page 3. ChatGPT will just personalize it to you. It will give you an answer just based on you and your field, because lots of experts have shared all this information on the internet. So it goes in, and in a few seconds, it scours the internet and gives you an answer. So I hope that helps. Thank you. So Coach Samuel or Silas, do you want to close us out? I'm sure I took way more time than I was supposed to, but some of these tools, when you start to share, it's you end up just going in and in, just going deeper. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. This is kind of you, very kind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zuria. It was very interesting and very good one.
You're welcome. ChatGPT subscription, talk about it. ChatGPT is only $20. I use the $20 plan. There's a $20 per month plan and a $200 plan per month. But the $20 is perfect. It works really, really well. I don't have a problem with it. My entire team is in here. This ChatGPT that you saw, I think we're about 6 people in it, and we all use it for different projects. So you don't need, the free version works really well, but if you want to use it more and to give you better output without any limits, you might want to pay for it. You can pay for it for a month and see how it works, play around with it. If you don't like it, you cancel the payment. But that's it. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Allow me appreciate our guest speaker for the insightful session that we have had this evening. And the presentation has really been wonderful to our audience. And I think our audience has gained a lot of valuable information towards. We really appreciate the effort that you have brought, the energy you have caused to us this evening. We have run out of time. Allow me welcome Coach Samuel. Coach Samuel, are you around? Are you on? Coach Samuel? All right. On behalf of the Transformational Professional Club, I want to extend our heartfelt thanks to each of you for having attended this session. Your presence and energy and thoughtful questions made this session truly dynamic. It is clear that this has been a room full of forward thinkers who are not just watching the future unfold, but actively presenting to lead within. To our incredible speaker, thank you, Madam Zura, our speaker, for sharing not just knowledge, but inspiration. Your insights have reminded us that AI is not something to fear, but it is something to embrace as a powerful tool in our professional journey. Your clarity and passion and practical wisdom have added immense value to our community. Thank you very much, and thank you, everyone. We know we are out of time. TPC, our video will be shared on the Coach Samuel Ibanda YouTube channel, and whoever has missed, share it with a friend to also learn the involving technology. Don't have much to say. I may say thank you. Thank you, Zora, for that wonderful presentation.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Good night. Bye-bye.